Hi, this is Cheryl St.Pierre. In this video, we're going to make a versatile finger swirl doodle earrings and a necklace as well, pendant. And I just wanted to show you this. The reason I'm calling it versatile is because you can do it with just about any type of beads. You can experiment with it. You can make so many variations of this, so it's a fantastic design. I really love it. So I actually made this pair of earrings with stone chips and then of course a bicone crystal just to give it a little bit of glitz, and then I oxidized it, and it really gave it an earthy, elegant look. But I also have experimented with other beads. This is the back of this one, and I've used a really thin teardrop. I call it a dagger teardrop. I don't know what it actually is called, but it's only like 5 millimeters wide, and I think it's about 10 or 12 millimeters long, and the bicone, of course. They all have the bicone. And isn't that pretty? And this one, I used 2 6x4 rondelles and 1 8x6 rondelle in this configuration. And you can experiment with the configuration. And of course the bicone. They all have a 4 millimeter bicone at the bottom. That's just part of the design. And isn't that pretty? So today, in the tutorial, I'm going to play with a large teardrop and a 6x4 millimeter rondelle, and I'm going to have it where the teardrop's upside down and the rondelle is at the bottom like this, and that's how I'm going to try and make the earrings and necklace today, or pendant, and of course a matching bicone. They're all, this is the green colorized electroplating finish, and it looks fantastic with oxidized copper. So what you're going to need for supplies today, I'll have a printout here. First, I'm going to back off here a little bit. Okay. I have, we're going to need the 20 gauge copper, which is 0.8 millimeters, and it's dead soft copper wire is what I'm using. 16 inches for each piece, so 16 inches for each earring, and then if you're doing a pendant, you'll need 16 inches for it as well. Beads of choice as I demonstrate. So even though I'm showing you all those different beads, you can experiment. I think this design is open to many style of beads. You could even have like 3 6 millimeter semi-precious beads in a row here, and then just have a bicone, even if it was just a clear crystal, just to give it a bit of glitz. Or you could put a 4 millimeter matching semi-precious stone there too. That would work as well. Like the combinations are endless basically. And you're going to need your ear wires of choice. You could choose to make your pendant exactly like an earring and put it on a pendant bar or a standalone bail. Like I have the tutorial for my standalone bail. You could use it like that. Or today I'm going to demonstrate putting in a built-in bail, which is a little bit harder, but I mean, you can choose to do it like this. Like if you only make one of these, you could turn it into a necklace easily. So that's just one of the nice things about this design. And for tools, you're going to need your round nose pliers, chain nose pliers, flush cutters, ruler, You could use, I'm going to try using my bail making pliers today. I haven't used them for a bail yet. So I always use my round nose pliers because I try to keep my tools as minimal as possible. But today I'm just going to use that. So you can either use the largest size on your round nose pliers to make your bail, or you could use bail making pliers if you're familiar with using them. And the chain nose pliers, flush cutters, and ruler. Okay, so first off, I think we're gonna start making, we're just gonna make the tops of all three. So I've straightened my wire, and I want you to take your ruler and I want you to bend them. These are 16-inch pieces. I want you to bend them at 7 inches. And the 7 inches is going to be the shorter part where your beads are going to go on. The longer part is what's going to make your loops and your bail. So, yeah, so bend all of them at 7 inches. And I'm just going to bend one, and then I'll bend the rest. I'll pause and bend the rest. Okay, so I have all three of them bent at 7 inches, and we're going to make a regular loop on one, a backwards loop on another, and a bail on the third. So we're going to start with making just a regular loop. And it's just the standard earring size loop. And this is the regular loop. The wire goes on the left-hand side, and I'm going to get this ruler out of the way. And I want you to wrap it 5 times. So it looks like 6 wraps, but it's actually only 5. And most of it will be hidden. So it doesn't have to be perfectly neat, but the neater it is, the stronger it is. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So that's just the first one. And now the backwards loop. Now remember, when you're making this, the 7-inch piece is going down. You're making the loop with the longer piece of wire. So the backwards loop is, instead of having it wrap here, you're going to wrap on make it go on the right-hand side, and do the exact same thing, but the wire is going to be on the opposite side. And this is so that we can mirror. And it's harder to wrap this one for some reason, for me anyways. So that's 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, I have bent, from working it, you end up bending the wire. You do need it straight, but we only want to try and work it once. We don't want to, because we're doing finger swirls, we don't want to work hard in the wire too much. Okay, so those 2 are done. So you also need to make sure that your wrapping's neat. Mine ended up being neat that I don't have to fix it. But if it's not neat, then you would just cinch it up, straighten it out with your pliers like this, which actually work hardens it and strengthens it. If your loop isn't centered, you would bend it so it's centered. Just you know, make it nice and neat. And then the bail, and again, you're going to want the 7-inch piece going down, and you're making the bail with the longer piece. I'm going to use my bail making pliers. I don't want the bail too big, so I'm going to use this one. I think that would be about approximately 5 millimeters in diameter. That might even be too big of a bail. Okay, so I've got to go like this, and I'm wrapping twice. And it's hitting the camera. Okay. And then you just take it and see, and I think this is why I don't like them. It's because this gets in your way when you're doing the wrap. So it won't, you can't wrap as neat. And instead of 5 wraps with the bail, I mean the loops, I think we should do 7 because I think we need a little bit more workspace. And you want to pick the nicer side as being the forward. So I think that's the nicer part. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, and it's really shortened the wire. Hopefully I have enough wire to work with. We'll find out. If not, I'll start making another one and we'll give ourselves more length. Now this is good. This is the first necklace with a built-in bail I'm making, so I haven't made it before. Only made the earrings so far. Okay. I might run out of wire. Don't know. Okay. So that's done. So I'm going to start with making my necklace. Actually, no, I'm not. I will do that off camera because it's going to be exactly like an earring, and that way you can see it's successfully done. And I will make the necklace off camera, and I will tell you if the length wasn't long enough, and I will ask you to lengthen it. Okay, so that's why it's always good to watch the whole tutorial once before you actually start making anything. So I am going to do 2 earrings we should make side by side, and loop by loop to try and make the sizes similar, because if you notice, you can make the bottom loop bigger, or like I did with this one, I made it smaller. So that's a choice you can make, and this one was bigger again. You just need to make both of them similar. It's not gonna be perfect because that's almost impossible to do. So I'm gonna put my teardrop on, and this teardrop measures 15 by 10. So it's 10 wide and 15 long. And I'm gonna put the rondelle there. Okay, and now this was the backwards one, so the wire is on the right hand side. I'm just locking the beads into place at this time, going like this and wrapping it around once, and then I'm bending both wires like that. And now I'm going to do the same, making sure it's straight with the other one. Upside down teardrop and rondelle, whichever bead you choose, and wrap it around once, and then push both of them this way. So now they're opposite. Okay. And then the first thing I'm going to do is, okay, this was the one where the wire's on the right now. We're going to make a loop going up and then go down. So your finger swirling like this. And then we're going to stop. It's not going to be a full loop. We're going to stop about there. And we're going to do the same but the loop's going to be opposite, so we're going up. Remember, you're going up. Okay, so then it's like that, so that they're similar. And at this point, you take the inner wire. You have to make sure you know what the inner wire is. So the inner wire is the one, this one. Okay, I'm going to put the bicone on it now. And I'm going to make a loop. I'm going to make a larger, try and make a larger loop this time. And we want to be like that. Okay, so it's on the, this one is on the right hand side because we're going to hug the bead with design. Okay, so now I'm going to try and make a similar loop with this one. I'm going to put my bicone on that inner wire. And this is the hardest part to make matching, I think. Trying to get that loop there a similar size. And did I do it? Is it similar? It's very close. So that'll be what takes practice. Practice makes perfect. Okay. So we'll continue with this one right now. Now I want to make a loop going the opposite direction. So this one was counterclockwise and this one, so the next one will be clockwise, and the opposite, this one is clockwise, we'll make the next one counterclockwise. So we want a little loop right up here. So it's just like that. And we want to pull it to the side to show off the bead. So it's going to look like that. And now I'm going to do, we want to have it, try and get it in a similar position, similar size. Oh, and I actually made it go up. So I've got to do that with this one. Okay. So, oh, I went the wrong way. You know, I have to redo this one. Here I'm talking about make sure you do it the opposite way, and I didn't. Okay, so I goobered. And that would be considered a blooper. So I'm going to pause it, and I'm going to make another one matching. I will actually pause and be right back. Okay, so I cut those beads out of the other one. I've got my wire cut, and I'm going to bend it at 7 inches. Okay, so I've made the loop, and I don't have neat wrappings, so I can demonstrate how to fix it. I'm just going to cinch that up, which didn't take much. And I'm just making sure it's straight, and it's pretty straight. Okay, and now I'm going to put the beads on and get it caught up. So it demonstrates how to fix the stakes, and I can't do it side by side like I did the other part, so I have to do as best I can, and it's going to happen to you as well. So I'm just going to move the stuff out of the way to keep it in focus. So I'm wrapping around once, bending it like this, and now I'm going to do the upwards loop and have it similar in size, and it is. Now I've got to take the inner wire, put the bicone on, make sure, Okay, and now I gotta do a similar size loop. So I think I'm there. Okay. Yeah. And now I have to make sure I have the loop going towards the bead. Okay. Now we're caught up. Okay. So are we close? I'd say it's pretty close. You're never going to get it perfect. Okay, so now we want to have a nice curve. So you're going to put tension to curve it like that. So we want an elegant curve. So I put tension to bend that down. And now I want to wrap around the base like this. Okay, so it looks like that. And now I'm going to do the same thing with the other one. So I'm putting tension to make, and we want to try and make that curve similar. And okay, I actually had to pull with my fingers to get the angle right. And I'm going to put tension and push it down a little bit more. Okay. And wrap around there. And now I see that this has turned. I'm going to straighten that out and make it so it's facing like that. And now I want to do a loop on top here to cover the wrapping. And we want to have a loop on the other one. We want to try and make it a matching size. And I'm going to straighten this one turned too, so I'm thinking that's just something that happens. You just straighten it and make it a little loop covering the stem of your hanging loop, and try and make them the same size. So whatever's bigger, make smaller, because it's easier to make it smaller than it is to make it bigger. Okay, so now they're pretty matchy. And now we're going to take our snips, and you want to cut it so the wire is about 1 centimeter, but I want the top one a little bit shorter, so I'm angling my snips like this, so it's just a little bit shorter, and I'm guesstimating the centimeter, but you can measure. I think I'm shorter than 1 centimeter. And then I'm just going to set, this is something I used to do all the time instead of the ruler, is I want to snip this about there. And it's safer to do a little bit longer because I can always shorten it. And then just go like this. And you know what? They are pretty close. I'd say bang on because they're touching. Okay. And now I'm just going to make the loops on top. And I'm going to bend this a little bit so it's more elegant, and do the same for the second wire. And this one's going to be tucked in behind. Just like that. And do the same with this one. Now I see that these beads are bigger than the other earrings I made. Oops, one's upside down, one's right side up. That's why. Well, that turned out really nice. Now I'm going to try and make the pendant. And I have a feeling I don't have enough wire, but I'm going to pause it while I make the bottom part, and we shall see. Okay, so I've got this part done, and it does look a little short, but it might make it. Okay, so now I'm going to just bend this around. And so the pendant doesn't have to match the earrings exactly because it's a separate piece. Oh, it is too short because there's no way I'm going to make a swirl. Well, let's just try. You might want to make, oh, you know what? I'll make that the shorter piece. It's exact. I would, for the pendant though, give yourself another inch. And then you, because it's an inch short of this one, give yourself another inch. Do 17 inches for the pendant. And I'm just going to take my snips, make that one a little bit longer. And there is the pendant with the built-in bail. And I'm just gonna split that apart to give that V look to hang on the chain. And now I'm going to put my earrings on the ear wires. Okay, so I put the ear wires on, and the next thing to do is to just hang them and make sure that they're hanging right. And if they're not hanging right, then you need to straighten out the loop on top that make sure they're hanging forward. And once you've done that, then they're done. If you're planning on oxidizing them like I did the moss agate chips, I would recommend oxidizing it before you put the ear wires on, just because people can react to the oxidization in their ears. That's a personal preference. That's what I do. They oxidize when you use previously work hardened wire. It oxidizes as you're work hardening it. So that they go a little bit dark anyways, but yeah, there it is. They're done. The set is done. The pendant turned out larger than the earrings, but that's okay because you kind of want that anyways. So, and there is the set. There's a set. Gorgeous. Okay, thank you for joining me in this video. If you liked this video, please hit like. I would love everyone to leave a comment, even if it's just a happy face, because the more comments I get, the more my videos get out there. And please share the link to my videos on Facebook, Twitter, wherever you do your social interactions on media. And God bless to you all. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.